James the Red Engine, Episode 2, Season 1. James is in Red Engine on Sodor. He's about the size of Gordon and Edward. Thomas is just about the size of James without his tender. The same goes for Percy. But James is a fast engine, just about as fast as Gordon, and he mostly pulls freight or cars. Sometimes, which most times, he likes to pull cars, but he doesn't always get to pull what he wants, because his coaches make noise. He doesn't know why, but he really just wants to. This is like, since he hates freight, he mostly refuses to pull it. And when he refuses to pull it, there's worse to come. One day James was riding the rails with his toasters, and Bash was right there. And Percy accidentally hit a car. It hit Bash and sent 2 cars, and they hit James. As he keeps going on, his shirt was hurting his buffer. This happens because today was James's unlucky day. The next thing that happens is Percy is coming, and then James starts speeding through. It almost knocks the pillar down because he doesn't, but he does almost fall off the cliff. Even if Thomas warned him to be careful, he wasn't. He was very impatient and rude. So he didn't really care what he did. One day, the same day of James' mistake, he was going too fast and Thomas hit his tender and knocked over Thomas. And then the bad luck keeps happening because today he causes a lot of trouble. Even if he made a few accidents, that he makes worse. Because later that day, Percy was working up at a mine when a beam was getting unstable and James was coming near the beam. But James was a fast engine. Today Gordon was sick, so he had to pull the Express. The Express was only 3 cars because half of the people that went on Gordon's Express didn't expect James fast car. So as he raced through, he went a little bit too fast, racing through with his passengers. Passengers yelled for him to stop because he was going something, and passing everybody and hit everybody. And as he slowly backed up, cars flew down and back, and it hit the cars, and James couldn't stop, but he hit a pillar, and it fell down. Now, even if he was causing this much mess, he caused more. because Percy is now about to fall. He just didn't know it. Now that he was done with his passengers for about 2 months, he got mad and he refused to pull the Flying Tipper. But they got another engine for that, so that doesn't really matter. But anyways, Thomas knew what was going to happen because he knew all the plans and he knew if James went a little too fast, he would crash. As James goes a little fast to pull some cars, he meets Thomas and asks him, "Why do I have to pull freight when everybody else does not? Everybody pulls freight, James." "Yeah, I know that. I just don't want to. Gordon mostly doesn't." "Yeah, because he's express. And no one likes me." "Well, yeah, you get into like 30 crashes." That is a big lie, and you know it. Yeah, I find that very hard to believe. Like the time you got covered in fish, or the time you almost fell down a canyon, or the time. Okay, stop telling every single thing, because those are lies. And he slowly gets his freight train and slowly leaves out. It was a very small mountain. He only got 3 cars, but it was just going all the way up the mountain. As he slowly moves, Bash was having trouble with freight cars, and as he pulls him up, James crashes with it. As he slowly pulled him up, he bangs into Percy, and James was rushing through, but for some reason his brakes weren't working. He tried, but they weren't working, so he kept going on and on. With his brakes not working, Percy went farther and farther back until he carefully reached the end of where he could go because the bridge was getting repaired. And then it wasn't going good because as they both backed up, James's brakes finally worked, except not in time because he hit the cars. Beneath him was Charlie. He hits the cars into Bash. Bash falls. James hits more. Bash falls down. James crashes and falls down a canyon for the second time. What? Yeah? And you just messed up a video? You just messed up a video. And though he fell down a canyon, he actually didn't because Charlie just saved him right in the nick of time. Because he was hanging off the cliff. And as everything was fine, James was not. He was sent to the steamer to be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.